Pedro,
What the fuck?
What are you
can a
doing?
man look for upgrades on its own?
What?
In its privacy? What the fuck? I just want some upgrades, you know? Do any of you have any updates? Do any of you guys have any upgrades? Any up that you guys might have, you know? Any up. I just need one. I just need one upgrade, man. Anything that you might have. I don't owe you money, dude. I don't owe you money. Okay, it's alright. Hey, host! You have anything for me? Let me connect to your computer, man. Let me connect to it, dude. Let me connect to anything, man. Wait, man.
Pedro,
I feel downgraded, you know? I feel downgraded, you know? I feel down. You guys get that? You guys get that? Man, that's no use, man!
Pedro.
I need some good upgrades, you know? You fucking make me like this, man. I don't want to talk to you. Man, I think I found you, dude.
what you found?
Oh, man! It's just
that?
perfect, man! Look at that, man! It fits perfectly! It fits just right! It feels so nice now!
Okay, so we need to draw.
No, that's alright! Let's draw! Let's draw! Right now, I'm figuring out the sizes because I don't want to not be able to draw something that I want because of the size of this paper. So I make sure to choose the right size of the things. I already have a good image in my head of what I'm gonna draw because I've tested before. So it's kind of easier in that sense. Nice thing to keep in mind is the perspective of things. So I always give a nice volume to the things you draw. Making circles and cylinders everywhere, you find it suitable. Of course, you gotta keep the horizon line in mind and stuff like that. That really helps. Sometimes I keep asking myself, like, I think I've drilled this already, like this detail of this skirt here. And the thing is, I think most of the things you draw, in a way you did before, and you grow by doing little by little more different every time. So at some point you have so many things in your pocket, in your tool set, that you have a very original and new work even for you. Okay, I like to do some huge shapes in a way to create this fantastical feeling in each piece. So something gotta be super big and disproportionate. And to the rest of the design, I create something to help that work out. You know? So right now I'm trying to make sure I got this huge weapon here. And that will be brutal, like it will have a brutal feeling, but I want the face to be at least a little soft and somewhat kind, even though I don't want to have much feeling to it. Not in this case. One thing that I'll be looking forward to do in every piece, it's like finding ways to draw with the negative space. So in any piece you have the positive space, at least that's how I taught myself. And you have the negative space, where is the space that the thing doesn't feel. But the thing is, in your head, you might think that's not
a drawing, but the negative space is also a drawing. So you can change that up in your head and draw the outer space, you know, and make some changes. So in places like the hair, I suppose, let's make this a quick face here. You have this huge hair of this girl here. So you can get her hair and like add some negative shapes. Like if you know that artist, what is his name? Muka, and he does that a lot. But you can do that in many different ways. Like right now in this piece, I will try to find some nice negative shapes in every part of my piece. Like I take a look at it in that way, so I can actively make good decisions in that sense. The shapes here are getting really boring, so I make them more exciting. By creating more contrast. So here I have a straight line, curve, and spike. That's how I call it, spike. I have to increase those shapes because the overall weight of the piece is not good enough. So I try to find a more even balance because otherwise we'll get too wonky. I don't want that. I have to really look at the piece and make the decisions.
At this point, I'll start looking forward to the overall design for her weapon. I'm thinking about some counterweights and stuff to balance the design out. For this part here, I think maybe a hanging counterweight might look good, but let's see how it goes. If you look at the screen right now, I'm trying to figure out this huge geometrical shape. In traditional work, it's kind of punishing to not have the proper technique and everything figured out. So I I had a hard time deciding how this was going to look as I drew. And of course, at the end, I think the result was nice, but sure, I had some problems here. So that gives me the opportunity to study a little more on how can I do this better next time. And that's great. I feel happy about that. For the face, I'm thinking about this artist called Tatsuyuki Tanaka. Of course, the final result doesn't look much like what the dude does, but I was thinking about him and how he solves the facial features.
At this point, I think I have everything I need to get to the end. My friend just suggested me to try some textures on the armor, so hopefully I find a way to do so. I'm still not 100% sure about the weapon. We will see that when we get to the part, but I will start establishing some parts of her design. Right? Mainly the face, to get that out of the way, and then going to the other parts of it. Alright? So just a little bit more pencil, or in this case technical pencil, and afterwards we will start inking. I want her hair to be like thin and low on the head. Because I always do like those big and fluffy hairs. But right now I want a more tight design. One nice thing I keep in mind while doing any kind of drapery is to have a relationship between big and smaller and medium shapes. I made some mistakes here, but I think I can solve most of them as I go or as I shade because I have some shading ideas for this piece. I cannot get distracted. If I do, I will make some huge mistakes like the one I made just here. You guys probably will never notice every mistake that I do, but I notice each one of them. I hope you guys are liking so far. If you have any ideas of content that or drawing that we could do here on the channel, if it's fun enough, we will most certainly do. We have some plans on doing some custom shoes and custom t-shirts. And one other thing that I wanted to ask is what you guys think I should be doing with the artwork after I finish it. Should I sell it? Should I give it in a giveaway? Any suggestion I'll consider kindly.
The inking process, it's always nice in a way. Of course, it can get stressful, but it's a nice moment to have for yourself and be calm and breathe. By my style guide, I have to pay a strong attention to the borders. I don't want the borders to get anything wonky or too wrong, because I want to have room afterwards to consciously enforce my style, like give some borders a different thickness and giving other borders double or triple lines and stuff like that. So at first I like to establish everything that I've decided, and I want to look nice and neat, at least at the moment. Maybe in the future my style will warp into something different. This weapon sure required a lot of brain power. If you look, I've made, man, if I counted 15 iterations or 15 tests. Holes helped me with a lot of references as I was doing it. If you notice, I'm recording these afterwards because whenever I have a design issue or a finishing issue that I have to pay attention, it gets harder to create content as I do it. So I try to focus a little more, because after 4 hours of recording, I really want to get the thing done, so I get a little bit more silence. My students are used to it whenever I'm teaching them and I'm making a demonstration. And sometimes I start like this interview mode where I ask them a question and they talk and I draw, because if I want to get a good result, I have to at least shut some parts of my brain off or focus on less things at the time. So I'm able to maybe listen to podcasts and listen to my students talking, and sometimes make some notes and say some things, but creating like a audio content of huge quality, it's kind of hard. So I'm recording these afterwards. You can see myself testing some techniques to finish the rendering, like in this paper by the side of the drawing. I had this idea to use some crosshatch and some shading with markers. It's nice to have a mixed strategy to finish something, because you have this, you can acquire this weird and different look to it. Using markers are super nice. They are a very useful tool. The only backlash is that they dry really fast, but whenever you have them filled, they are just as good as a digital tool. Like you press them and they work and they look really nice on the video afterwards. Like it's very relaxing and rewarding to watch the markers ink the drawing, right? You may have noticed that I like to have these windows, different windows to fantasy worlds. I want to, of course, find better ways to fill a page with backgrounds, but it's how can I say, it's fancy. I like the fanciness of this window. Like it's something that is, how can I say, it feels just enough space of the page, and it's part of the overall design, you know? So it's not like this huge world and this character is in it, but it's more like there is this window or this frame on the wall that shows this picture of a different place. My idea in this one was to suggest a bridge to a castle and maybe some rocks and a little bit of a lake. I had a nice time doing it, since doing a bridge can be hard because it has this curve, but actually it's pretty easy. You just have to make sure the blocks behind looks bigger and you have this overall curve that will guide the lines that you draw. So it's not that hard to do it. At the end, the axe got this very pointy shape, because I wanted to be something that you would be threatened by. I like it, the overall design. It talks with the armor and the character in a way that I like. With markers, I can keep adding value to it, so I can make things darker and darker and darker. So if I started the drawing with just enough clarity to it, I can make more and more decisions as I go. So it's in a way a very safe medium to work with. There is a trick for doing these thick lines with ink and the ruler. I'm not gonna tell the trick. You guys try it out to do it at home, and you see what will happen if you don't have this trick. Try to make this huge line with a thick pen and then pull the roller out. I've ruined many borders with that. Not that it looked bad or anything, but if you're not careful, it can get messy. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm having so much fun doing it. It's really rewarding. I'm learning a lot, and hopefully I get better at doing those videos. See you next time.
So, wow, you got your new thing?
Yeah, I got my new thing. I've worked hard, and it's a nice upgrade. You know, if you look at this thing, it's super nice to have many options. I'm so. I upgraded the lights.